6.
Level 6. Yes, level 6 is completion of the art. That's your that's your goal basically as you kind of progress as a student. Um, Level 6, the biggest change is now you're taking on that role of a feeder, the role of person who drives the attacks, person who drives the techniques. Because the main thing you're gonna learn as a level 6 student in terms of the curriculum, again, it's just one line in that curriculum document. It's 12 semi-advanced techniques. You've heard Bobby talk about this a lot. He calls it semi-advanced because the moment he gives it to you, it's no longer advanced. Maybe when he learned it, when he developed it, to him it was advanced. He named it semi-advanced because the moment you share it with somebody, it's now something that they can counter, something they can analyze and figure out. So the goal is for you to now develop after that 12. So most of the techniques that you've seen so far from levels 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, your instructor is the one who drives. They'll feed the 12 angles, they'll feed the groupings, and then they'll hold to get an effect out of you. They'll thrust because they want to see a certain disarm. Now it's supposed to be you driving that technique that you want to happen, right? So can I borrow your belt? So number 1, for example, I would still be feeding the number 1 strike. And he'll bump up, hack, hit. Right? So that broad strokes, that's what semi-advanced number 1 is. But it's really supposed to happen with him driving it, not me. Right? So he would be driving all those slow, so we can kind of, 1, there. So anytime I come back with a 1, that's opportunity to do semi-advanced number 1. Right? If you notice, he was driving the feeding. All I was doing was defending and countering. So the mindset is about him now being a feeder, him being a person who's trying to pull off the techniques. So that's one part, being able to pull off the technique in isolation, because at this point, this is isolated. Then, instinct fighting motion with him being the feeder. Now the last part is the finish, the grand finish. That's where you want to do power striking, right? So at this point, that last strike that he had here, big power hit, just finish somewhere. Now, why do you hit if you've already kind of knocked the guy out? Well, you need to continue just in case there's other people around you, or you need to continue in case it didn't finish off the other guy, right? So in this case, maybe he'll do this hit, and then that's his finish, but the other guy's over here. And the other guy's over there. So when you're testing in front of Grandmaster Bobby, you're going to be feeding the groupings, feeding the strikes, pulling off the semi-advanced technique. At the end, you're supposed to power strike as well. That tends to be the testing that he sees, that he looks for.
Now, what specifically is it looking for? Not just the ability to execute this. Is there more to it?
Yep.
How smoothly you do it? How fluidly you do it?
Exactly. So it's all of that you said. Earlier on, we talked about level 5. We talked about the live hand being an important factor here. Well, number 1 semi-advanced. There. See that checking that he did in order to do it. Well, so that live hand starts to take place. Another one, for example, is going to be number 3. This is big hit. Just big hit down.
I really like that one.
Super simple.
Super simple.
Super simple, but it's a lot of detail that we didn't know.
High probability.
Yeah.
Talk to me about the details that some people may have missed.
The first one, number 3, goes back to your level 1, level 2. This strong defense that you have. The other piece is your live hand, being able to push down and manipulate. Right? So remember earlier from level 4, you have push and pull.
Yes, sir.
So that pushing, that big snappy, that quick snappy action should apply here as well for this one. It's not going to be lazy, number 2. It's not going to be there. No. You want to see that power there. So he's going to be looking for that. And he's also going to be looking for, after you strike, how do you recover from your movements? Because if you strike and your arms are all the way out here, it's a place for him to check and manipulate. What you'll be looking for is how you recover from the technique, right? So from here, number 2, this is checking that happens here. You go check, and then start doing your power strike.
Hey, what's a good way to fail level 6?
So, this is standard for all levels. Please do not curse. Please do not drop your cane. And please do not hurt your partner. Yeah, we're all cooperative here. That's the easiest way to fail any level, regardless if it's 1 or 6 or 7. There are others who'd struggle to go through the techniques and they just for some reason can't remember. They haven't practiced it enough. Or it comes out really sloppy. Then he would ask you to repeat, give you a chance. But there's also a chance you're going to fail if you're not able to show the technique efficiently, effectively.
It seems to me like through these testing phases, there's a test of character here. Like, what do you mean don't swear? What do you mean don't get frustrated?
It all boils down to self-control. And if you can't keep yourself from slinging an F-bomb in the heat of the moment, he looks at it as a weakness in your mind. You lack in self-control. And if he's trying to create a killer in you, well, you don't want to be irresponsible with that power. So he makes sure that he checks your character with little things like that.
And as you're going through the process, he's not testing you as in trying to get you to fail. I mean, your 10 power strikes, I've seen people struggle, and he's like, why don't you go back there, just work it out a couple more times, come back and present it. Yeah. And people are just down on themselves like, hey, nervous, your jitters, but to perform, to do that in front of Grandmaster, come back and go, I'm ready again. It wasn't like, whoop, you screwed up, it didn't look clean. It was, do your best. Your resiliency too.
Yeah.
I mean, you're going to be, after the 10 power strikes, you're like, can you still stay crisp? Do you need a moment, sir? You're like, somebody get this man a water. I've seen Jim Bobby just be the kindest man out there, and also just this look too.
Like, you ain't passing today, son.
Right. No more than like the technique. Like,
I think those 3 rules are mind, body, warrior, right? Mental self-discipline, mental control, as in don't curse as much as you want to. Don't. Physical control, don't hurt your partner. All right, and then the warrior aspect is you drop your stick, brother. You're done. That's your toast in a real fight. So he shuns upon that as well. So it's like a mind, body, and warrior test of character, all in just 3 simple rules.
One of my tests, Jim Bobby allowed me to disarm, and he goes, pick up my stick. And I stood there and I said, no, sir. He goes, I am the Grand Master. Pick up my stick. I go, not at the moment, sir. You're my opponent. He goes, he just smiled because, you don't grab the stick and go, here's the weapon back.
Yeah.
So you disarm, you stay there, you stay ready.
You guard the king.
Pick up your stick,
It seemed like that was the right answer at that time. The same answer could have been the wrong answer at a different time.
I agree. Yeah, he could have been like,
what do you mean?
Let's have a conversation, man. See you back.
So real quick, guys, it's the night before my level 6 testing. I'm all alone in my hotel. Some advice for me.
Breathe. It's a long test, man. It is a really long test. If you think about it, you're not just doing the 12 semi-advance. When you're doing a completion of the art, you still have to stand up for levels 1 to 5, same day. So while the level 1 and 2 students are in the front, you're all the way in the back, and as they move out of the floor, you move forward. So right from the beginning, you're there, so breathe. Learn to relax. Yeah.
Right, so the night before, what should I be doing in my hotel room? Like, what?
For me, when my 6 came up, I said, I am completing Jim Bobby's art. I mean, wow, this is the time I'm going to go there and perform and say, I have completed the system, sir. And that's it's to me, it's like you need to have that silence of your own. Be out
calmness.
there. There's some people might want to go out and do things and no, you need to have the calmness. Be with yourself. Go in there. When level 7 came, man, it was brutal because you still have to be there in the front, in the back. Everyone's up front. You're still doing basic 12. You're still doing shadow fighting. You're still doing everything all the way up to, okay, now it's your turn. And then yes, you gotta breathe, and you're like, give me more powder. I don't want to grab my stick. And then in the end, it's like that was worth the beat. It was so worth it, So it made
Just reflect, kind of.
Reflect.
This is a special thing you're about to undertake.
Oh yeah. All that hard work, all the men and women that touched hands with you, that put you through the pain, that corrected you, that told you move that foot here, don't do this there. You appreciate it. It all comes down to that moment. And then when Jim Bobby does the final nod, You know,
It's a great feeling.
That's a
Yeah.
great feeling. Yeah.
What about you, Alex? Some advice for guys who are about to step into, and now it's the morning of. Holy smokes!
All the work needs to be done prior to. So prep hard, train hard, do all the work. So that night before, all you're doing is just visualizing the best of your performance. You're meditating basically on what it is that you're gonna do. But if you have not put in the work, you are not gonna sleep. You're gonna be very anxious. You're gonna be very uptight. And that's not the way you want to feel. So just do the work, guys. Do the work. Put in the time. Repetitions is key. Ask the questions that are supposed to be asked, and just put in the work. And that way, when you sit in your hotel room at night and you're just relaxing, taking deep breaths, all you're doing is visualizing your performance. When you wake up in the morning, you're feeling good, you're looking good, you're ready to rock and roll. So just do the work, guys. Do the work. Put in the time, and that night before and the morning of, you're good to go.
If you're testing for a level, you should have been already done with that level. In other words, my students, when they test for level 2, we're already working at level 3. That means the test is just saying, by the way, just show them what you already know. So you shouldn't be like, I think it's, you already know it. Just show it.
Yeah, so the thing that we say is that because you've done the work, your instructor and your seniors have kind of shown you the way, you can trust them, right? So because you've done the work, you've got the right people leading you, in the end, you are just celebrating the hard work.
Thank you, guys.